Hey, what's up, guys? So I wanted you all to walk with me. I'm downtown. This is Flower and what's this? Flower and Olympic, I think it is. But nonetheless, figured you all can hang out with me. Look at some of the things. Look at some of the buildings and everything. Just finished coming from brunch with the wife and daughter. What you looking at? Dang, that's a big sequoia. So, anyway, yeah, I figured I'd invite you guys along. Hopefully you all don't mind. One thing I wanted to tell you guys is that for those of you that are looking to get into the real estate game, or you're looking to buy your first property and you don't want to deal with that high interest rate, there's something that you all actually can do, right? And so this is the Fashion and Historic District. One of the things that you guys can do is think about assumable mortgages. That's right, assumable mortgages. It's a big inside secret that a lot of people are not aware of, you know. And so why I'm bringing that up is that for most people, like I said, right now, come on guys, trying to get into the real estate game, it's crazy, right? We know that, hey, you know, you trying to buy a $500,000 house now, you're easily spending anywhere from between $4,400 to $4,500 a month on a $500,000 property, right? And that's usually with interest rate lower, that's the payment for $1 million. But because the interest rates is so high, right? But like I say, with the assumable mortgages, one of the things about it is that you're able to take on somebody else's mortgage. And I know a lot of you guys may have heard of it, but for those that haven't heard of it and that's trying to get into the real estate game, it's definitely one of the insider secrets, right? So basically, somebody has a mortgage, right? Now here's the thing about it. Let me explain about these mortgages. You can't do it with most banks. With a conventional mortgage, they won't let you take it over. But like your government type of mortgages, those are the ones that you can actually take advantage of. Well, I wouldn't say take advantage of, but it's more flexible to letting you assume the mortgage, right? So, you know, a lot of people that are trying to sell their homes and stuff like that, to move like out of state, like a lot of people, they wanted to move out of California, but think about it, it's hard for them to run across the street. It's hard for them to buy because the interest rates is crazy, right? So being able to take over somebody's pre-existing mortgage where they have a lower interest rate, like when interest rates was between 2 and 3% versus this 7% interest rate, right? Now, like I said, who would actually give you, or which lenders that you can actually approach for this? Well, if it's a government-backed mortgage, a lot of them, depending on who's the servicer of it, they will let you take over the mortgage. So like with your FHA, with your HUD, your VA, your USDA, those type of mortgages, you can take advantage of with a lower interest rate, right? And the thing about it, there's a company out there that's doing just like that. They're finding people that have low mortgages with assumables, and they're taking those mortgages, right? They're taking those properties and they're listing them. And so, God, I can't remember the name of the company. What I'll do, I'll put a comment below the video. Now, here's another thing in terms of, say that you're an investor and you trying to raise the money. I'm gonna run across the street. You're trying to raise the money. I guess I have to wait on my wife and daughter now to this is a pretty good view of downtown. You can see here. Man, we gotta be careful. But it's Olympic. Yeah. So the apartments down here, you're easily paying anywhere from $2,500 on up for an apartment down here. You know, but hey, if you work here, work life, you know, it's more convenient for you. You know, I guess you do what you got to do. But I'm like, oh shit. That being said, excuse my language. That being said, guys, one way to raise money to get into the real estate game, if you're trying to take over an assumable mortgage, is using the tier 2 and tier 3 banks. That's right. Using the tier 2 and tier 3 banks instead of the tier 1 banks will make it much easier. And the reason is because with the tier 2 banks and tier 3 banks is less scrutiny for us raising capital. Now, some of you all may be wondering or scratching your head like, what's a tier 2 and a tier 3 bank? Well, let me break it down to you for the people that don't follow me. With the tier 1 banks, those are like your major banks, right? So that's like Bank of America, Chase. Now Wells Fargo can fall between a tier 1 and a tier 3 financial institution. The reason is because even though it's a major bank, it's a FICO 9 user. Even US Bank is a FICO 9 user, but the problem with US Bank is they become very conservative at a certain point, right? So that's the thing about it with US Bank. If they see they done already gave you like over $100,000 in funding, US Bank, anytime you try to go for something else, hi, good afternoon. Anytime you try to go for more money after that, then what ends up happening, what did you say, sweetheart? Oh. All right. So anyway, like I said, with US Bank, if they already see that they done gave you 100,000 plus, then they become real conservative. Now, that's without paperwork. That's another thing. That's without paperwork. If they see that they don't... What? What about the birds?
She has to use those. That's what's on her phone.
Oh.
You have to use the birds. That's what's on your phone.
That was a bird. They're all birds. They're just different colors.
So why didn't it work?
I didn't do it because you kept walking.
Oh. Well, we can go straight.
No, it's this way we gotta go. We can do it on the way back. Well, the light's about to change now.
First I
All right, let's walk across the street first. Now, LA is the people who do not mind running over your toes. So, yeah. Let's walk down this block because we're going up to Broadway. You all can get scooters. You all want to rent scooters?
Yeah, let's race each other.
All right. Okay. So, anyway, sorry about that, guys. Of course, when you with family, they want to do this, want to do that, you know. So. But nonetheless, I hope you all are enjoying the walk. It's a grove. Now, this is downtown LA. Now, here's the interesting thing. Because of regentrification, you see a lot of, you don't see as many homeless normally as you would, right? So, hey, what's up, man? So if we wanted to go on a virtual and self-guided tour, I guess we can check this out, right? So, and it's the leasing place for apartments and stuff. Now the cool part about it, like if I needed to work down here and say I needed to stay down here for at least a month or whatever, they have the little lofts that I can rent for like a month. You know, if I don't want to drive back and forth from my house, so which is cool. I do have that option, you know. So it'll cost me maybe about $3,000 for the month, you know. But at the same time, if I'm working down here, you know, it gives me a chance to just relax and stuff, you know. Plus walking around and staying down here is a convenient too. But nonetheless, like I was saying, getting back to U.S. Bank and this paperwork. So the situation with U.S. Bank and paperwork is that once you're over $100,000 in funding, now everything will come to, you no longer on a stated income, you're on paperwork. And for those of you that need like Paystubs and stuff to get funding and stuff, I want you to schedule a one-on-one consultation. I can help you out with the Paystubs, okay? Yeah, I can help you out with the Paystubs for that. So if you're trying to get an apartment, or like I said, you're just trying to get more funding and you need those Paystubs, I can definitely help you out with that. But that's the thing about it, they're more conservative. Now, back to the tier 1 banks that we was talking about, like Bank of America. The thing about it with Bank of America, they're very conservative when it comes to funding. They are very stingy. Even though Bank of America may talk about they give these high limits and stuff like that. Not if you're not having no paperwork. If you don't have paperwork, they're not giving you those high limits. All right. So just keep that in mind. That's the reason I tell people most of the time, stay away from Bank of America, okay? So now, that being said, what banks would I go to on a tier 2 and tier 3 level? All right, let's run across. If they're gonna stop, we're gonna hope that they're gonna stop, all right. But yeah, I know it's shameful, sad when you see people laying down on the side of the street and stuff. But hey, yeah, but as many people as you can, but don't feel bad. You know, that's what your tax dollars is going to. You know, you help as many people as you can on your own. But back to what I was saying about these tier 2 banks. Let's talk about these tier 2 banks. What are those? Now, those tier 2 banks, talking about your regional banks. Now, with your regional banks, those are the ones that's giving up the money. Now, again, here's the thing about it, why people get stuck when they trying to raise say they're trying to raise $500,000, right? They don't have the paperwork. That's right. They don't have the paperwork. And because they don't have the paperwork, that's That's where they get stuck at. And they don't garden in a relationship as well. So that's another thing. You gotta garden a relationship. Meaning, you gotta open up that bank account and that savings account for that business. And then what you wanna do, you wanna garden it for about 90 days. So what does that mean? Gardening. What you're gonna do, you're gonna make we can go. You're gonna make those deposits. That's right. You're gonna make those weekly and daily deposits, right? So that way, by you making those weekly and daily deposits, you're building a relationship with them. And all you have to do is for 90 days. The reason 90 days is because with 90 days, that gives them a full quarter of see what it is that you're doing, right? Saying how long you're gonna stick around. Are you just there for a credit card and move on, or are you gonna actually build a relationship with them? So some of your best banks on the tier 2 is like BMO, PNC, Truist, right? So that's the thing about it. It's the Orpheum Theater right here. What are they playing? Snarky Puppy Empire Central, right? So, like I say, that's the thing about it. Now, again, building a relationship. When you're trying to get over 100,000, you're gonna need those pay stubs. Make sure that you have your tax documents, all this stuff in place. So that way when you go in, they see you and they're like, oh, okay, he's ready. That's the reason, like with lines of credit with PNC Bank, they'll do a soft pull on a line of credit. If your paperwork is right, if you already got that relationship with them and stuff like that, you get a soft pull, you know. You're able to get a $25 up to $100,000, right? Then of course they're gonna give you the business credit card as well. So by them giving you that business credit card plus that line of credit, you know, after you get it from that bank, which is I think it's Experian, then you hit up BMO. BMO is another institution, right? A tier 2 institution. So you have different ones. Oh, look at this. Look at this sign. Let's see. Got Flight Club. Say how somebody. They had a lot going on down here, you know. So now, let's talk about some of these tier 3, right? See this here? Dumb money. Let's talk about some of these tier 3. So with the tier 3s, tier 3 is your credit unions, right? So in reference to your credit unions, what's the credit unions we're hitting up on the tier 3? Like I said, Navy Federal, you know, but Navy Federal is conservative plus. You have to jump through hoops just to join. Plus, they're real sticklers on the type of business that you have, you know. So I made a video on Navy Federal, so you can check that video. I was talking about getting a Navy Federal loan as well as the business credit cards and stuff like that, right? So hold on. So I'm gonna cut the video off here because of I don't want to get what do you call it, the video demonetized. So I'm gonna cut it off here and we'll get back, okay?